Angry Birds, a legendary game we all grew up with. A simple slingshot turned into a global phenomenon, until the franchise was slowly buried under remakes, reboots, and corporate greed. So today, I'm putting three AIs head-to-head: ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. One challenge: remake Angry Birds. Which AI can build it better? Let's find out. Before we start, let's go over the rules. First, I can't tell the AI what programming languages or tools to use. Second, I can't manually edit any part of the code. Third, the AI has to produce fully working code on its own. And finally, I can explain game mechanics to the AIs, but I can't fix any errors. I kick things off with ChatGPT. I gave it a simple prompt, the same one we'll use with the other AIs later. After fixing a few errors and installing Pygame, a Python library ChatGPT relied on, our very first version of the game was finally ready. The first version of the game was worse than I expected. It was just a floating red ball, and I had to aim it at 3 green objects. No UI, nothing. Even when I hit all the targets, there was no win screen, no indication that I actually won. I could just keep going. Infinitely. After watching the first failure for a bit, I went back to ChatGPT and explained that it didn't feel or play like Angry Birds. It made a few updates, and the best part was it started using PyMonk, a physics library that handles collisions and movements much better than Pygame alone. I installed PyMonk, and then it was time to try the updated code. So I tried the updated version of the game. This time, it added a tower with the enemy target on top, and I could feel that the physics were a lot better. But there was a big problem. The launching power from the slingshot was way too weak. No matter what I did, the ball just wouldn't launch properly. So I went back to ChatGPT and explained the issue with the slingshot. It gave me another updated version of the code to try out. Now, let's try version 3 of the game. As you can see, the physics are much better, and the slingshot power has been fixed. Actually, it's me who's the problem now, missing such an easy target. I noticed that when I missed 3 times, the game crashed. When I launched it again, I finally hit the target on the first try, but there was still no win text. So now we have a new problem. Whether I win or lose, I'm never notified. The game either keeps running or randomly crashes. I decided to give ChatGPT one last try to solve this, and whether it worked or not, we'd end it there. It updated the code again, and it was time to try it out. I launched the game, and because I'm just too good at this, I missed all 3 shots again. But I was surprised. A game over text popped up. That made me immediately run the game again, and this time I hit the target on the first try. And there it was, the "You won" text. ChatGPT did a solid job. It wasn't perfect at first. The physics and UI needed work, and the slingshot felt weak. But after a few updates, the mechanics were solid, and it even added proper win and game over screens. I still don't love the look or the background, but the physics? They're fantastic. Overall, it was impressive for a first AI attempt. Now it's Gemini's turn. I gave it the exact same prompt and waited for its response. It started explaining everything it would do, even giving me math equations to calculate velocity and gravity. Then it gave me the full code. Everything looked ready, so it was time to run it. Except it didn't run. No matter what I tried, nothing happened. I asked Gemini what the problem was, and it turned out the last line said uncomment to run, and somehow I didn't see that. I removed the comment and tried again, but it still didn't work. I pasted the console output for Gemini to fix it, and it rewrote the whole code. This time, when I ran it, it finally worked. The first version of this game was really disappointing. It was just a red ball with a broken slingshot, and nothing else. No target, no goal, nothing. But I will say this, I actually liked the background and the floor it created. That's something ChatGPT never did, even in the final version. I went back to Gemini and explained the problem, and it gave me updated code. I ran the game again, and this time, things were looking a lot better. There was a score text, a shot counter, and even an enemy. The only issue was the slingshot. Pretty much the same problem ChatGPT had. But when I missed all my shots, it actually showed a game over text. Things were looking really promising. I told Gemini about the slingshot problem, and it gave me updated code. I could feel a tiny improvement in the launch power, but it still wasn't anywhere near the slingshot ChatGPT made. It was super weak and could barely launch the ball. I started thinking, maybe the issue wasn't the physics at all, but the space on the screen. Like maybe there wasn't enough room to fully pull the slingshot back. So I mentioned that to Gemini, and it said it fixed it. Except, it didn't. When I launched the game again, it felt pretty much the same. The ball still refused to launch properly from the slingshot. I somehow managed to hit the target and win, but the slingshot was basically broken the entire time. And honestly, I think I know why. Gemini never used PyMonk like ChatGPT did. It relied only on Pygame, so the physics just never reached that same level of accuracy or power. Gemini did an okay job overall. It definitely had better visuals. The background, the floor, even the score and shot counter were a nice touch. But the gameplay just didn't feel right. The slingshot never had the power it needed, no matter how many updates I tried, and the whole thing felt a bit underwhelming. It worked, but it never really played the way I hoped. Lastly, it's Claude's turn. I gave it the exact same prompt, and it immediately wrote the code. I was honestly impressed by how fast it responded, and how quickly the game ran right inside the Claude app. And right away, the design was better than both of the previous attempts. It had a birds counter, an enemies counter, a way better looking ball, and enemies that actually resembled the classic pigs more than anything ChatGPT or Gemini made. The physics were also the best so far on the very first try. It even had a proper game over screen and everything ready out of the box. I told Claude that the physics felt a little off, and it immediately gave me an improved version. And honestly, I could feel the difference right away. The game played a lot better. The slingshot still wasn't as strong as ChatGPT's, but it was good enough to pass. Then I went back and asked Claude to make a real level, because I wanted to see how it would handle a full design. And it actually delivered. And that brings us to the end of Claude's attempt at creating Angry Birds. It's safe to say Gemini takes third place, ChatGPT comes in second, and Claude easily claims first. Even though Claude didn't have the best physics, it delivered the strongest results in just 2 attempts. But if we're talking pure physics alone, ChatGPT definitely wins that category. And before we wrap up, thank you so much for watching. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps more than you think. Also, let me know in the comments what other games you want to see me recreate using AI. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.